Ooh, hi everybody, I'm Master Lukey, and welcome to the Red Owl News, your nightly health news. On today's episode, we're going to start with personal trainer shares 3 things she does to burn belly fat. Okay, as a quick personal note, I would just like to say that today, starting in the second half of the day, after 6 p.m., I stopped eating carbs. Now, I haven't eaten in 7 days. The last actual food that I ate was last Sunday. So all this week, I drank tea and coffee and juice, and I had maple syrup in my coffee, and I had honey in my tea. I also had different kinds of juice: apple juice, coconut juice, orange juice, and lemon juice. As of 5 or 6 p.m. today, I had my last lemon fizzy. I'm not eating any carbs. I'm still not eating. And all I'm going to do is drink water. I'm doing this for 2 reasons. Number 1, because I have a condition in my gut where it's kind of like athlete's foot, where the skin cracks. It's basically a fungal infection at the ileocecal valve. It's caused such an inflammation that's pressing on the nerve that goes all the way from my hip to my neck. So no matter how much I stretch and crack all day long, the back right side of my vertebrae is being squished because the whole nerve on that side is pulling. So I couldn't barely train at all, and I just actually started rolling on Friday with a lot of pain. But it was finally the first day when I felt like I could roll, because it was so stiff otherwise, and I was at such a risk of injury I didn't even want to chance it. So for the next 21 days, apparently, it's a 21-day water fast. I'm going to be also taking Jub's anabolic steroid, which is an herbal formula. And I'll read the ingredients and we'll go over them on a separate video from this. But it's a product promotion and review for Jub's anabolic steroid. The idea is that I'm not eating any calories. I'm not eating anything that's, the muscle that's going to build the muscle. It's all from the training and the formula. So hopefully, my theory is that I'm going to get an 8-pack, I'm going to lose a lot of weight, but also build muscle, because I'm going to be doing what I can to train the whole time. I did want to call Dr. Jub tonight and just run it by him, but I'll have to do it tomorrow or another day. So, personal note, that's where I'm at. By the way, if you want any health advice, it says here, Life Food Certified Health Coach. You're going to get advice that's pretty unique. But anyway, go to masterlukey.com. Scroll to the bottom and click on where it says contact. And then you'll see all my information right here, and I'll give you a free consult. I'm not saying you have to go without food for 21 days. This is a program that I've been progressing through since 2006. Okay, this is almost 20 years it got me to this point. Now, it wouldn't take you that long because I kind of streamlined it here in the suburbs without any support. I did it myself. And I'm putting together a program that you can too. But before I get the testimonials, which is what I want from you, I'm not going to charge. Unless you want food, you want to buy food from me, that I have to sell. Anyway, it's all special ingredients. It's not your typical meal prep. If you go to masterluki.com, you can, let's see. You can just go to lifefoodcertified.com if you want. Or you can get there through masterluki.com on the homepage. But check back on that, because I got more. I got to update that. Personal trainer. Excuse me. Shares 3 things she does to burn belly fat. By Lucy Notarantonio. Is this her? Personal trainer. Here we go. I like this. I don't have to read it. Look at that. Consistency. Okay. A study published in a... Okay. Sticking to the exercise regimen. Alright. Without consistency, yeah, well, that makes sense. Weight training, high intensity interval training, and yoga. Each works the body differently. So, bodybuilding, sparring, or strength training, sparring, and stretching. We're going to just translate that to MMA. Strength training, and that could be various different things. Sparring, and stretching. Hold on, I missed the last 30 seconds. Oh, rest. Rest. Woo-hoo! At 11 p.m. I'm doing the news and I'm telling you to rest. Oh, good thing I don't need a lot of sleep when I'm fasting. That I did notice. I can go to bed a little late. I think Dr. Jubb told me to be in bed by midnight. 4 days a week with 3 days rest. That's pretty much where I'm at. Monday, Wednesday, Friday for sure. And I am going to have to take it up a notch though. I need to be going to different gyms. But anyway, stay tuned on all that. Joe Rogan says he'd vote for RFK Jr. Really? Would you, Joe Rogan? But Dems will have rascally tricks up their sleeves to prevent it. Rogan said that America's current chaotic state is like a show that he can't stop watching. He voiced support for Democratic presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on Wednesday, but expressed pessimism that the party would allow him to be on the ballot or debate Biden in a primary. He's a fascinating guy, Joe Rogan said. I really enjoy talking to him. What's really important is his work as an environmental attorney and what he did with the Hudson River. Ooh. He cleaned up the Hudson River, a lot of it based on him winning cases. And he really cares about people. I think he's a good person. I'd vote for him, but I don't think I'm going to get the opportunity. It doesn't look that way. I have a feeling that they got some rascally tricks up their sleeve to keep him from ever challenging. There's not going to be any debates, that's for sure. It's like a show I can't stop watching. If I wasn't personally involved, if there wasn't something going on in the country that I live in, I would be like, wow, this show, this is crazy. Is that guy going to make it? Like, what's going to happen? Is she going to be the president? Like, or is Russia going to nuke us? I would be like, what a show. This show is crazy. An interview with Fox, what is this here? RFK Jr. told Biden to hold unscripted meetings and interactions with voters so Americans can determine if the president is up for the job. A lot of people will say that, well, Biden is surrounded by very good people who will run the country even if he can't. But I don't think that's a good way for the democracy to work. I don't think so either. I mean, you're just admitting that he's a figurehead, a puppet pulled by the strings. Come on, man, really? That's the world we live in? We got these shadow government? I know Jubb says that. Austin sees influx of crickets. Local media wants residents to eat them. Ew, is this more predictive programming by the elite? The NWO trying to get you to bugs and like it too. Well, listen, of all the things that people eat that I wouldn't eat, on the list of the things that I would eat, that's first on the list. Like, I would eat a bug before a beef. I would definitely eat bugs before beef. I heard, actually, that they're a better protein, too. But I'm just eating... would eat the bugs because it's less consciousness. And I think there would be less ill health effects from eating bugs. But I wouldn't eat them fried. Obviously, the fried's no good. I don't know how people eat bugs, but I'm sure I've eaten a bug or two here and there just by accident, right? In fruit or whatever. I heard some fruits got bugs in it. Anyway, I'm not going to read this story. Local media wants residents to eat crickets. Holy. Where do I sign up? Elon Musk's NEURALINK. Oh, potential cure for brain disorders and paralysis. Of course. Risks to humanity lurk too. You know, these technocrats, they really just love beating around the bush and not doing anything worthwhile. Dr. Jubb already has healing programs for brain disorders, and I got books on it. And I'm going to digitize them, meaning put them on Amazon. Let's see what they'll admit here. NEURALINK is on the verge of beginning human testing. Wow! And the technology that could potentially help people suffer from all sorts of neurologic disabilities. There's also potential for massive danger. Dr. Marcelo Ienca, a professor of artificial intelligence. How do you get a professorship of artificial intelligence already? Didn't it just come out this year? This dude's a professor. TMZ Live explaining how NEURALINK can advance medicine by light years, tackling brain disorders that affect hundreds of millions of people and even quadriplegia. You fix quadriplegia, I'll be a believer. The first human test groups will be patients living with paralysis, and he breaks down how it almost literally rewires the brain to do activities it previously couldn't. The implant. Yo. The surgical robot. However, there's an alarming aspect that feels like an episode of Black Mirror. Doctors will always come with its share of risks. I actually was looking today at possibly getting certified in cybersecurity, but I changed my mind against it because I'd rather be face-to-face with a person than face-to-face with a computer screen, you know, as a job in the future or as an addition to my work, you know. I don't know that I want to be in front of a computer. I'm still thinking about it though. Woman reveals how she caught brain parasite from her cats. Toxoplasmosis. This is why I don't have pets. And I'll tell you something. I had mice when I was going through my worst period of depression when I was 19 years old. I was living at home. I had failed out of college. I was delivering pizza and eating Domino's every day. I took all the delivery boxes and manufactured a mouse kingdom out of cardboard and a couple of wooden bureaus that I took the drawers out of, and I made like these, you know, through the drawers, I made like this world, this mouse city. And I started out with one mouse, I got 2 mice, they bred, I ended up with 42 mice. And the room smelled, and the basement smelled, and my parents made me get rid of it. And I had really bad depression. I slept until 2 in the afternoon every day. I went to bed real late too, but I would say that was a symptom of toxoplasmosis, not just from the parasites, but the actual fumes. There's got to be bad fumes in there. Let's see.
Or should you let your cat sleep in bed with you at night? It can help to relieve stress, anxiety, lower your blood pressure, allow you to spend time with them. On the other hand, cats have a higher body temperature than we do, so if you're a hot sleeper, you may get even hotter. In addition, they like to be really close to you, so they might want to sleep on your head or on your neck, and they might try to wake you up at night. I like to sleep with my cats. It's a personal preference, even if I have to suffer a little bit.
Of course you do. She's took over by the parasite, guys. Sorry. I think all pets do that. Cats,
to thrive in
dogs,
the city, it takes ingenuity.
birds.
To drive in the city.
I think everything breaks down into the microorganisms that it's made of, and there's no barriers. There's no barriers, meaning like even my fingers, which looks like it ends right there, there's like energy everywhere. And there's stuff coming off of me, and I meld into my environment. So, I had a guy staying with me recently. You guys may have seen Rick. He says dogs are part of his family. They're part of him. They're people. And that's emotional. It's not logical to say that a dog... Now, a dog can be part of your family, that's true, but they're not people. But it's emotional, which leads me to believe that it's physical. It's not just the way that he's thinking, but an emotion is an actual physical occurrence. So that thought that's emotional, I think, is actually coming from somewhere inside, which is the home of, a home of this dog worm, which I'm inventing right now. I don't have any proof on it. It's just a theory. But if it's from cats, I'm sure it's from dogs too. Why not? Bears. If you had a pet bear, if you had a pet bird. After experiencing a number of strange symptoms for some time, one woman was shocked to discover that the source of her malaise was actually her cats, who infected her with a parasite. When Shelby Wardlaw noticed problems in her speech, joint pain, fatigue, and neurological symptoms, she couldn't pinpoint what the root cause could be. As the symptoms showed no sign of waning, Wardlaw got tested for a number of infections, and she was horrified by the results. I would be horrified too. Wardlaw from Colorado told Newsweek that she was diagnosed with a parasite called toxoplasmosis and a bacterial infection called Bartonella, which has been very difficult to live with. Is that her? Cat scratch fever. And everyone told you needed to get rid of your cats in order to heal. Aw. She refuses to give them up. I was having a lot of neurological symptoms, mental disorders, speech issues, joint pain, fatigue, and flu-like symptoms, so I got tested for many infectious diseases, and these two specifically come from cats. The parasite got a hold of her brain, that's why she won't get rid of them. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says toxoplasmosis is an infection caused by the parasite. People can have become infected from eating undercooked meat that's been contaminated, drinking infected water, coming into contact with contaminated cat feces, often through cleaning out a litter box. While they estimate more than 40 million people are infected, many may not experience any symptoms. Yeah, well, a lot of people have these symptoms. Those who do may notice swollen lymph glands, flu symptoms, and muscle aches that last over a month. It can also reduce a person's vision, lead to blurriness or redness of the eye. Wardlaw always had cats, also received Bartonella, commonly referred to as cat scratch. Information from the CDC details how fleas often carry the infection, so when a cat scratches, they can unexpectedly contaminate others with the flea stool. It may also be spread from infected cats living in an open wound or bite. The CDC notes that stray cats are more likely to spread it, but it's possible to get it from pets. Following the diagnosis, Wardlaw shared her experience on TikTok, and many social media users told her to get rid of him, but she refuses to. I had a lot of sympathy and agreement from people. I've also had a lot of opposition telling me to get rid of him. I get very defensive, the Parasite does, and upset when people suggest getting rid of my cats. That's not the answer. She wrote on, yeah, it is. My answer is, get the animals out of the house. You don't want farm animals in your house. You don't let horses walk through your house. You don't let cows walk through your house. You don't let dogs walk on the outside in the suburbs, in the city, and the farm, and track everything inside on their paws, on their fur. Keep animals outside in the barn. That's my solution. My solution is to keep animals outside in the barn. You can have cats outside in the barn. They'll still get rid of rodents, and then you won't get the toxoplasmosis. She's undergoing treatment to manage the infections, which is making it a lot easier to handle. Okay, well, don't get rid of the root cause. Just treat the symptoms. Seems to be working for Big Pharma. Tech millionaire pursues quest for immortality. Plans to reduce his biological age. Some of Johnson's methods include taking 111 pills every day. Wow. Going to bed at 8:30 p.m. and having a tiny jetpack attached to his penis to monitor his nighttime erections. Are you serious? Brian Johnson, a 46-year-old tech entrepreneur, is trying to reverse the aging process by spending millions of dollars monitoring, conducting experiments on his body. The goal is to get his 46-year-old organs to look like 18-year-old organs. According to Johnson, he now has the bones of a 30-year-old and the heart of a 37-year-old. Yo, I might actually do this, except for the blood donating. I think he has a blood boy. The system includes downing 111 pills every day, wearing a baseball cap that shoots red light into the scalp, collecting his own stool, and sleeping with a tiny jetpack attached to his penis. Describing the Spartan conditions of his bedroom. The only two objects in the room besides the bed are a laser face shield for collagen growth and wrinkle reduction, and a device he wears on his penis while he sleeps to measure his nighttime erections. I have, on average, 2 hours and 12 minutes each night of erection of a certain quality. To be 18, it would last 3 hours and 30 minutes. The journalist described numerous details of his routine before 6 a.m., such as measuring his weight, body mass, hydration level, body fat, and something called pulse wave velocity, using a light therapy lamp for 2 to 3 minutes to reset his circadian rhythm, and taking his inner ear temperature to monitor changes in the body. While scientists and medical experts quoted skepticism about his project, Johnson suggests that he's more interested in the future's opinions rather than his modern contemporaries. I have a relationship with the 25th century more than I have a relationship with the 21st century. I really don't care what people in our time think. I really care about what the 25th century thinks. He recounted that such procedures made his dating life difficult, noting he had listed what he calls the 10 reasons why women hate me. The reasons include eating dinner at 11:30 a.m., no sunny vacations, bed at 8:30, no small talk, always sleeping alone, and of course that they're not my number one priority. Yo, what do? Just hire hookers? I mean, seriously, what is a relationship if not shared experience? I guess he's got more important things, like he said. Whether we're talking about falling in love or having sex or going to the baseball game, you're talking about biochemical states in the body. You can remove everything and just say, I'm experiencing this kind of electrical activity in my body and these kinds of hormones. We have a whole bunch of ideas of what it means to exist. We have all these ideas about what is happiness and other things. We're walking into a future where we no longer have control, appearing to refer to AI. Before declaring, we're willing to divorce ourselves from all human custom. Everything. When asked whether eternal life would be tainted by losing all of one's loved ones who are not in the same program, Johnson compared the feeling to senior night at high school, where we say goodbye, we've been together all these years, and we're probably not going to see each other again. Oof. Johnson seemed to suggest that for humans to survive in an AI-aligned future, they may need to sacrifice a part of them that makes them human in the first place. Well, that is a big concern as we move into the next, what they would call the fourth industrial revolution, right? Klaus Schwab calls it the fourth industrial revolution, where they want to put a NEURALINK in everyone. They want to inject you with your chip at birth, and they want you to be on the Internet of Things. So that is a big concern, that how much, once you get the chip, how much control over your thoughts do you have? Do people who have gotten the I don't know if I can talk about this. Let's just say that some people think that nanotechnology is possible to control somebody from the inside out. It's bad enough you get controlled by your addictions. Sharon Osbourne here admits it's time to stop. Greetings, Master Rick. Woo-hoo! You made it, bro. You made it for the last story. I didn't want to go this thin. Sharon Osbourne reflected on her decision to stop using Ozempic after admitting that she may have shed more pounds than she initially intended while on the injectable diabetes medication, which has also become a popular weight loss drug. The 70-year-old weighed in on why she quit taking Ozempic during an appearance alongside her husband and her kids on Piers Morgan. You can't stay on it forever, firstly. I lost 42 pounds, and that's just enough. Is that her? Oh, gosh. Having a little trouble with this thing. Okay. So she does kind of look thin in the chest there.
You should contact your attorney before signing a contract, even a standard or small contract.
This down here, though, this is, you see how the chin, like, it looks like there's sags. It looks like it sags. This, no matter how thin you get, you have to do cleansing, because that's actually intracellular, meaning it's in between the cells. It's waste that was unable to be evacuated by the body that caused a deposit of material, like down here. It would be heavy metals. It would be calcium phosphate. It would be like if you look at the intestine as a muscle tissue, which it is, but it's not as vasculated. You know, it's not as bloody as a muscle. It is bloody, but it would be like the difference between these two colors here. Like the one by my head is like more the muscle, a deep dark blood, because you know it's pumping, and the intestine would be less bloody, but as it loses its vibrance, it becomes more pale, even more, and then that can turn white, which is like almost like a deposit of a scar tissue, but you have to go on a cleanse to get rid of it. So all this is doing is cutting down on the calories, and it's not putting you in a position to do cleansing, I don't think, because they're still eating, just not as much, you know. So it's like there's no cleansing, there's no flushing of the organs, and then there's no fasting, there's no extended fasting. But anyway, she cautioned others against using Ozempic. At first you feel nauseous, You don't throw up physically, but you got that feeling. And it was about 2 or 3 weeks where I felt nauseous the whole time. You get very thirsty and don't want to eat. That's it. That's why I keep saying you got to keep this stuff away from younger people because they'll go berserk on it. And that's not right. Yeah, nothing like setting a good example, eh, Sharon? Come on, tell them. Osbourne previously spoke about using the fucking injection that everybody takes to lose weight, referring to Ozempic, during an appearance on the Club Random with Bill Maher. When you have a weight problem, you tried everything, then somebody says, take this injection, you're going to be skinny, she says. You always be playing the odds when it comes to healthcare. Yeah, when you do it the Western way, definitely. Side effects. First few weeks was shite. Because... The first week was shy because you just throw up all the time. You feel so nauseous. The former host also revealed she used to slide back into bad habits, noting she's always had a weight problem, but hasn't after being on Ozempic. Usually I do. I give it a couple weeks and then I'm like, fuck it, I'll have pasta. That's gluten addiction. She also joked about losing weight at a time when fuller figures are being welcomed. It was just my luck that when the big bums come in, I don't have one anymore. I spent my whole life getting rid of my big bum and now it's all in. Well, you can still build it. You can still build the muscle and keep the fat off. That's like my girlfriend. It's round. No fat, but it's round. Earlier this year, Osbourne spoke about using an injectable weight loss drug to lose 30 pounds, but did not specify which one. Took it for 4 months, lost 30 pounds. I was very sick for a couple of months. In the first couple, I just felt nauseous every day. My stomach was upset. Well, that's because you got garbage in there. But listen, I took it 4 months. I lost 30 pounds. I just shoved 2 chips in my mouth while we had the break. I eat normally now. I haven't put on a pound. Nothing. Well, you know, me personally, I'm fasting not for weight loss, but for performance. I have to get my gut in order so that I can actually fight. Because, like I said, it's putting the pressure all the way up my right side. My neck is really stiff right now. When I yell really loud, I feel it. I actually feel from the pressure of the tension in my freaking vertebrae. So tomorrow's the first day. I know I'm not going to get there right away, but I think that each day it will improve. Every time I poop, it'll have a drastic improvement. So I'll go over it more tomorrow, but basically I'm going to have the Omega Tea, which acts as a broom because I'm not taking anything in. So that will help all the toxins to come out. You have to detox through the bowels so you don't get headaches and cravings and all this stuff. So the Omega Tea, although I'm going to be tired because it kind of like sucks energy towards it. So even though I didn't eat, I'll have the energy as if I did eat. And I'm still probably not going to roll because that's material in there. But we'll see. I might roll light. We'll see. Anyway, I'm on a new like everyday streaming thing at night. We got the news earlier in the evening. I'll be at the gym. That's tomorrow. And then during the day, I'll try to do something, you know, whether it's a pre-recorded video in the kitchen, in my apartment, or a live just breakdown of how I'm feeling in the moment about my fasting. But I do want to document this fast over the next 3 weeks. Stay with me. Stay tuned. Come back tomorrow. I'll be back. I'm Master Lukey, and thanks for tuning in. Over and out.